This is bottom line the most fuel efficient car in 2022. It's insane. What's up, guys? Boi Crypto here with you again, and today we are going to be talking about the 6 most fuel efficient cars to buy right now in 2022. Hey guys, if you want more money saving and minimalism tips, please do like the channel, subscribe as well. I very much appreciate it. Share with a friend, and also you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Boi Crypto. Yes, so the 6 cars that we are going to review today are the most fuel efficient cars to buy right now in 2022. I cannot wait to get to the list. And for anybody that is new to the channel, we focus on minimalism here. We focus on getting your money right by saving and spending very little of it, so later on you can live again like no one else. By investing in the #1 appreciating asset of all time, in the meantime, crypto. So one of the tenets that we always talk about is having a fuel efficient car to get yourself around. And hey, if you've already made it, if you're already rich, if you're rolling in it, drive whatever the hell you want to. That's not what we're here to do today. This is for the person delaying gratification, trying to stack those sats on their way up the Citadel. We're going to buy something cheap. Now, a couple of caveats here before we get into the list of the 6. I would always recommend buying a lightly used car. I'm not a fan of buying anything new, not something that I'm willing to do. I want to buy something that, if you can find out through the Carfax that maybe it was used at like an Enterprise Rent-A-Car or something like that, I always like purchasing those cars because you know that they were used lightly and taken very well care of. Another thing here, all of these cars should be pretty affordable for you. It's not just that they're great when it comes to fuel economy, but they're within a good price range. And again, I would probably look into buying the lightly used model. Another thing, we are not going into debt here. I only would recommend, obviously, buying these with cash up front. You know, you're already buying the dumbest purchase that we possibly can buy in a vehicle. I mean, it depreciates probably in 30% the moment that you drive it off the lot, and is only going to massively depreciate in value over the years. So there's no reason to be financing and paying more for something like this. Pay cash up front regardless of the car you purchase. So with all of that in mind, let's head over to the desk and take a look at the list. All right, guys, so let's get into it. We're going to start with car number 1 as far as the 6 most fuel efficient cars to buy here in 2022. And that is going to be the Toyota Corolla hatchback. Now, this is going to get you 32 miles to the gallon in the city, 41 in the highway. And we'll take a look at it here on the website. So the drawback here, it does look cool. I don't know how you feel about that color. It's an intriguing one, little kind of outer spacey if you ask me. But MSRP, we're looking at about $21,000. Now, obviously, like to me, no way in hell I would ever do that. I certainly want to look for a price a lot lower than that. And again, we're going to focus on a lightly used version of this car. I wouldn't recommend buying it new. But obviously, this is good gas mileage here. I like the design, kind of taking a look at it here. I think there is a lot of value in getting a hatchback. And, you know, if you've got kids or something like that, or maybe travel here and there, I definitely think there is value to this. Looks like we're looking at the Blue Flame edition here. Comes as many cars do in a lot of colors. I am a black guy. This is metallic. Well, I should qualify that. I'm a black guy when it comes to cars. But yeah, so we've got a lot of different options here. We've got a few different models here, obviously, as well. Taking a look at some of the exterior here, you can see we've got a very cool looking man at a very not so cool looking motel with this hatchback, but does look very good. View of the interior looks pretty solid as well. Another strange motel that they seem to be stranded at. Wow, nice display inside too. We're not really up for, you know, we don't really care about all that stuff as much as how the car actually does. So we've got a video here, of course, for the Toyota Corolla hatchback as well. We're looking at the XSE by the looks of it here. Looks like it handles really well. I like the design of it. So if you want to see how this car is actually rating out, other than just the mileage, the fact that it's a Toyota, what are the other car sites saying about it? So you can see here, 8 out of 10 from US News, 8 out of 10 from Motor Trend, and a 7.5 7.5 on Edmunds, another good trusted source. So relatively good ratings as well. Obviously rates as a compact car. And yeah, I think this is a solid option. There are going to be better options on this list in terms of gas mileage, I think, in price. We're really starting out at the top of the bracket as far as price, with this thing being above 21,000 MSRP, but the Toyota Corolla hatchback, definitely a good option. Okay, moving on to number 2 of what are the 6 most fuel-efficient cars to buy here in 2022. That's going to be the Kia Rio, which is getting 33 miles to the gallon in the city, 41 in the highway. And I really like this one. So I remember when I was a kid, and I don't know if, I'm talking a lot about aesthetics here, but when I was a kid, I really loved that kind of like round look on cars. If you can think of the old Ford Tauruses, I think in like the early 2000s or late 90s, but I'm starting to like this kind of more boxy look a little bit better that the Kia Rio has here. So what I like too, if you can see here, is going to be the price point. So the MSRP about 16K and a half. Once again, I don't really want to pay that anywhere, but that's, man, for a new version of a car, that's a great price. I want to get a obviously lightly used one for, probably 30% less of that or so. But I really, really do like the look here. Again, obviously, we're looking at good gas mileage. They have a really cool feature here where you can actually do a test drive for wherever you are, which is very cool at a close dealership. But yeah, this is a lot of good features here. Auto emergency braking technology, of course, lane keeping and following assist, LED headlights. A lot of cars do have this stuff now, but I really like the way this looks. Kia's been making some quality cars. You can take a look at it at a 360-degree angle here. I really like the look of this car. And although it's small, still looks sizable to me, being a 4-door. Obviously, me, I like the sleek black look. But this comes in a few different colors. Got sporty blue as well, which doesn't want to load for us here. There we go. Taking some other looks at the sporty blue. There you go. Pretty basic, but I like it. I definitely like the way it looks. It doesn't try to be anything that it isn't. Really simple, compact look. Checking out the interior, I dig it as well. A lot of the same features that you see in a lot of cars here. I just like how basic it is. You're obviously still getting great gas mileage and at a way, way lower price. That's the biggest thing for me. Let's take a look at how this one rates out. So looking at the 2022 Rio, Car and Driver actually gives it a 9 out of 10, an 8.5 roughly from Motor Trend, and a 7.1 from Edmunds. So really enjoying the ratings on this one as well. This is going to be my favorite on the list so far. And why? Well, the price point. Obviously, again, I want to pay something cheaper than that, but really like the look of this sedan and, like the shape as well. You can even do a build yours on here where you can go in and edit it however you want to, looking at the different models and stuff like that. So very, very cool. Big fan here of the Kia Rio. All right, let's move on to car number 3 in terms of what are the 6 most fuel-efficient cars to buy here in 2022. We're looking now at the Hyundai Accent, which gets 33 miles to the gallon in the city, 41 on the highway. And once again, much like the Kia Rio we were looking at before, that same price point here of just over 16K for the MSRP. Once again, I don't want to buy the new. I'm going to get a used one, but I'm liking this as well. I've trusted Hyundai for a long time. Obviously, they have a bigger model with the Elantra as well. This is the Accent. This is going to be the smaller one. And again, I like the shape here. I like the look. I like the price. A lot to like on this one. You've got a couple of different models here, the SE, the SEL, and the Limited as well. I'm, depending on what your needs are, I'm just shooting really for the most basic of the 3. Once again, you've got like the smartphone connection right here in the car with all of your apps on it as well. Also, forward collision avoidance assist here, which I don't know about you guys. It actually always bothers me. I'm not a fan of that, but I like to just have my own kind of eyes on things. But yeah, I really like the look of it. Really basic once again as well. Great mileage. I love this price point. This and the Kia Rio are probably my favorites on this list so far. Taking a look at a couple other colors that the Accent comes in here as well. Also a wider look at the interior, which I'm a big fan of. Just a nice, sleek, basic look. You're not going to turn any heads necessarily with this, which I don't really care about anyway. Taking a look at the actual video of the handling and the driving. So how does the Hyundai Accent rate out? Let's take a look here. We've got a 9 out of 10 from Car and Driver. Kelly Blue Book chimes in on this one with a 3.9 out of 5. And Motor Trend with an 8 out of 10. So once again, good ratings here for the Hyundai Accent, just like the Kia Rio got. Again, for the price point and what we're getting here, this and the Kia Rio are really my favorites on this list so far. Again, MSRP at just over 16, liking the Hyundai Accent here for sure. Okay, let's move on to number 4 of the 6 most fuel-efficient cars to buy here in 2022. This is a fan favorite. This is going to be the Honda Civic sedan. Honda Civics, Honda in general, people love and have been around for a long, long time. A lot of Civic fans out there. Now, you're going to pay for it. So we're looking at a $22.5K starting MSRP for this one, and not quite the mileage within the city, and that of course can fluctuate based on conditions, but 31 miles per gallon in the city and 40 on the highway for the Civic. But it is a Civic, and you know what you're getting quality-wise usually with that. I love the look here, obviously, once again. I don't like that over-alienistic Futurama type thing. I like just a bit more of a classic look, and you're going to get a little bit more of that here with the Civic. You know, it has kind of withstood the test of time here. Let's take a look at some of the gallery picks here. A lot of different colors, obviously, that it comes in. You can take a look at the gallery here whenever you'd like on your time. The interior as well. You know what you're going to get with the Civic. Everything right there for you. Big fan of the interior here. But yeah, I mean, it's a Civic, so you know what you're getting quality-wise. That's the real assurance here. Again, I'm not as big of a fan of the price, but you do get what you pay for in this life, and that's kind of what we're getting here with the Civic. With that in mind, let's check out the reviews from some of the big publications for the 2022 Civic. They're pretty good. 9.5 from Car and Driver, 8.6 from US News and World, and Edmunds is giving it an 8.1, just as I suspected. So there you go. Probably the top car quality-wise on this list so far is going to be the Honda Civic. You're going to sacrifice a bit in price and gas mileage, but definitely a great one to own. Okay, guys, moving on to the 5th car out of the 6 that are the most fuel efficient here in 2022. We're going back into Hyundai and the bigger model. I did name drop it earlier, but I did not spoil anything for you. It is the Elantra. This is our best as far as miles per gallon so far on this list. You are looking at 33 in the city and 43 on the highway. Well, they give themselves only credit for 42, but whatever. Yeah, the Hyundai Elantra. This is the 2023 actually right here. Once again, I would not buy it new, but an MSRP of just over 20 grand. Obviously, check locally for you. This has been a popular mid-sized car for people for years now. I am not a fan of the look. It's got that weird futuristic alien thing on the back. It's a little bit too elongated and kind of strange looking for me. Not my favorite on the list. However, we are looking at the best gas mileage once again from anything that we have seen thus far. I'm not going to pay that price for one, but whatever. You know, if you look at some of the other models they have the Hyundai Elantra Inline. This is kind of the sporty model there. But if you're looking for just the basic, that's going to be, they also have a hybrid, which this video is just focusing on actual fuel cars. But as far as the gas, you've got the SE, the SEL, and the Limited here, 3 different price points, all within about $5,000 of each other for MSRP. Once again, the forward collision avoidance assist, which I hate, the blind spot stuff and all that, but pretty basic as far as the specs in those terms. Again, for me, as far as looks, I'm just not a fan of this rear end here. And I like rear ends, but this is not my favorite. It does have that weird kind of oval, you know, I guess more aerodynamic look. Not a fan of it for me. This is not going to be my favorite on the list. I mean, this is, again, has been a staple for families, I know, for quite some time. But yeah, just the price is not going to do it for me. Great gas mileage at the size of the car, obviously. You got to give it to them there. I prefer the Accent for what the purpose is that we're talking about here. Just, getting better gas mileage. Well, not better gas mileage, but a better price anyway with that one. But let's look at how the Elantra rates out here. I'm guessing it's going to be pretty good, and it is. Gets an 8.5 on Car and Driver, a 7.7 from Edmunds, and 8 from US News. So yeah, I mean, you can't really go wrong with the Elantra on this list. If you want to pay that slightly elevated price and have a car that looks like it is from Mars, then the Elantra is going to be good for you. Not my favorite, but it is the best gas mileage that we have seen on this list thus far. All right, guys, drum roll, please. The number one most fuel efficient car to buy in 2022. This is going to stir some controversy for sure. That's going to be the Mitsubishi Mirage. Okay, this thing gets a whopping 36 miles per gallon in the city, easily defeating everything else on our list, and 43 on the highway, which is competitive as well. The biggest thing here, MSRP is only going to be just over $14K. That makes it the cheapest car. That word might work in a couple ways here, but the cheapest car price-wise on our list so far. Now, this is just, for me, this is the most optimal. I mean, if you were just sorting all of these new vehicles by price and miles per gallon, this is certainly the best deal. It's a fact. There's really no other way around it. The quality is the part that people may have an issue with, and you kind of want quality when you're driving a motor vehicle. Depends on your circumstance, of course. And again, I'm not going to buy this thing new. I have seen versions of this car around for only about $5,000 or $6,000. Another thing, and I think this is valuable to say too, if you can avoid dealerships and just buy right from an individual, as long as you actually get it tested and get it inspected on their dime, ideally, that's always a great thing to do. I will say, you might be surprised to hear me say this, I actually like the look of this. I do like the hatchbacks and stuff like that. I think it's, if you have a family and everything, it's a good option for you. Although this is going to be very small. Me, I'm a fan of the sleek black. There you go. Comes in a lot of different colors. They like to funky it up here a little bit with the Mirage, you can see. A lot of different strange colors. But yeah, I'm going to go with the classic black. But yes, I'm a fan of this. You're going to get the very, very thin tires here. You can see, if you ever see one of these things up close, you will be able to see that you're driving something very, very compact. All right. And again, this is up to you. I mean, if you're a single individual in college or, in some kind of school, or just trying to get yourself to the Citadel by saving up that money, living the minimalist lifestyle, buying crypto, this is a great option for you. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, yeah, car guys going to make fun of it, and that's totally fine. But this is a very good option if you're just not doing any kind of huge long distance driving all the time. If you're working from home, I think this is fantastic. And again, I like the look as well, to be honest with you. Nice and compact. You can fit things in the trunk if you need to. You cannot beat 36 miles to the gallon in the city. And you can't beat this price either. Like I said, just over $14K MSRP. You're going to be able to get this on the cheap, pay cash up front and take it right home. Now, the ratings are not going to do the Mirage a lot of courtesies here. Car and Driver, now this is almost, I think, trollish. If you want to read the full review, you're certainly welcome to. They only give it a 2.5 out of 10. That is low. It almost seems like they're trying to make a statement there. Kelley Blue Book, on the other hand, gives it a 4.5 out of 5, and Motor Trend a 6.8 out of 10. So a wide range of ratings there. I would read them and educate yourself a little bit more on it. The fuel economy is going to be insane. The price is going to be insane. That's really what this list is all about. But make sure you really understand what you're driving here. I was rating these purely by the most fuel efficient available. So you make the call. The Mirage is easily going to get you a crazy amount of fuel efficiency driving in the city. Fantastic. Again, I actually like the look of it as well. But you want to read up on the quality of the vehicle that you're driving, obviously. This is going to be the smallest, most basic car on this list. This is your call to make. I will say, For purely what we are looking for, I do love this car. If you really are going to be driving it just around basically, I think people are going to overreact to some of the quality features and things like that. But for probably the best deals on this list, I really like the Hyundai Accent and the Kia Rio, probably the best. You're not paying that much more for those and still getting great mileage and good quality cars as well. So there you go, guys. The 6 most fuel-efficient cars to buy here in 2022. What did you think of the list? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you want to punch me in the face? Let me know how you feel below. I'd love to hear your comments. Also, do you happen to own any of these cars already? I'd love to hear your thoughts on them if they're already within your possession, positive or negative. Let's hear the comments below. Also, if you like the channel and you like minimalism and other money-saving tips, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. I very much appreciate it. Share it with a friend, and you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Boi Crypto. I want to personally thank all of you broke boys for watching another one of these videos. I will catch you in the next one.